Hi, Selene.
Hi, Susan. Nice to meet you again.
Today we have a very exciting topic. You are going to talk to me about opening the third eye.
Yes, it is a very delicate topic because people usually have a weird opinion about this topic. You see, the third eye is supposed to be in a up part of the body, in the forehead, and Kundalini, which is the wild energy which sleeps at the base of the spine, when it wakes up, arises and it reaches and opens all the chakras, starting for the lower ones, and it has to go through the heart chakra before to reach the third eye in the forehead. So before to open the third eye, one should open the heart. And this is very important, because being able to see through the third eye means being able to love. See a person or a place, a tree, a flower, in a very deep way means to love him or to love it. And have a sense of inclusiveness. To see through the third eye means to be able to include what you are seeing, to include it in under your skin. You see, inclusiveness is the ability of the third eye, and it requires the opening of the heart chakra. Does it make sense, Susan?
That is very interesting. That is very, very interesting.
Yes, and inclusiveness, I think, is a very important skill to be developed. Is much more important than ethics, for example. The human ethic is a dangerous matter, a dangerous issue, because what is good and what is bad for the human beings is it is built by the mind, by the thinking mind, without love. Ethic is something that is built by the mind without the heart. And you see, in the esoteric Christianity, they say that Sophia, which is the knowledge. The word Sophia in Greek means knowledge, and Christ, who is the love, the pure love. They have never to be separated. They have always to stay together, one within the other. If one separates the knowledge from love, knowledge from love, is not able to see through the third eyes. In order to see through the third eyes, one should unify, join Sophia and Christ, knowledge and love, in one act of pure awareness. And ethic is built by human beings through his mind, and there is a natural justice and a human one, and they are different. Natural justice is beauty, is harmony, is a rhythm, and is inclusiveness. Even when the wild animals devour each other's, this is an act of inclusiveness. They become one another. It is an act of inclusiveness. But human beings, they filter everything through their ethics, and they are not able to see the true inclusiveness. It is very important to develop inclusiveness nowadays, because we are in a very special historical moment. We are in transit between an old economy, an oil economy, and we are going to reach a new economy paradigm, which is all to be defined. And if we based this big change, this epochal transformation only over human mental ethic, it will be a disaster, because every one of us can see what conventional weapons have done on the boost of human mental ethic. So what human beings can do through technologies, through artificial intelligence, if they continues to behave through their ethic, they can be destructive, and it will be terrible. So we have to shift, and we have to turn quickly from mental ethic to a new way of behave, a new behavioral method, which should be based on inclusiveness, in my opinion. And to do that, we have to open our third eye, because the third eye is the ability of inclusiveness. It concerns love, not only vision, but knowledge plus vision. Knowledge plus vision is the vision of the third eye. Does it make sense, Susan?
Yes, I mean, you're saying so many things, and I was just reflecting that in some spiritual communities right now, there's a big preoccupation around ethical behaviors. And this resistance or rebellion that spiritual communities have had to codify ethical behaviors and a lot of sexual misconduct, what is perceived as sexual misconduct. And yet, in some ways, it's trying to bring a, quote, safe solution in a way that's too simplistic, and how to be inclusive, even as a collective, and how to offer a different form of justice, even as a spiritual collective, without resorting to ethical guidelines, in what has been really a mind thing. So framing it into the specifics of a spiritual community, what you're saying seems very challenging.
Yes. Inclusiveness doesn't mean I stay into my I and I include you. No, inclusiveness means I become you, or I bring you under my skin. I feel you inside me. I feel you within me, and I feel myself within you. It is a question of changing perceptions, changing the way of perceive reality. And so we have to overcome the sense of I, as we have always considered it. You see, the sense of I comes from Christianity. Jesus has enhanced the sense of I, but in the Jesus character and behavior, the sense of I is one with love. I means I love in Jesus. If you take the sense of I and you put it together, you join it with other verbs, like for instance, I do, I own, I be. It doesn't make the same sense than I love. It changes completely. So I has a very deep meaning only if you join it with the verb love. I love is something worth and beautiful, but I do, I be, I own, it doesn't make any sense, and it is destructive, it is dangerous. Um, so,
Yes.
Christianity thought it is all built over the sense of I, but we have to recover, we have to remember the true origin of the I, which is I love and nothing else. The sense of I has brought into the existence only to serve the love, only to increase, enhance the ability of loving. So I think that the religious people want to overcome this this historical moment in which religions are associated with violence, terrorism, war, or sexual abuse. They have to rethink the myth of I, the symbol of I, which is beneath their religions. I speak about monotheistic religion. I refer to monotheistic religions because in animistic religions, for instance, the sense of I is not present in the same way. When there are many gods and goddesses, there is not the sense of one, the I is present so strongly only in the monotheistic thought. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One God, one I, one leader, one truth. The number one doesn't exist in nature. In nature, you can't see that tree. You can see many trees. You can see that tree, the other tree, this tree, that tree, but not that tree. So the number one in nature has no sense without the multiplicity. One is in the multiplicity in nature. So, of course, the sense of I and the sense of one is only in the human mind, and it is brought into existence by religious myth. But at the beginning was brought into existence to enhance the ability of love. So at the beginning, of course, it was good. But if you divide, if you separate the sense of I from the ability of loving, it is the sense of I becomes a weapon, a dangerous weapon. Does it make sense, Susan?
Yes, it does. It really does.
So I think that every one of us has to do something in order to overcome in his personal life the sense of I, and to be able of inclusiveness. For instance, one a day we can, maybe in the evening, we can rethink our day, and we can try to include all people and things and places that we have met in the span of a day under our skin, and try to bless them, try to bless everyone and everything we have met in the span of our day every evening before to get asleep. This can be a good practice in order to develop inclusiveness, or when we are outside in the nature, we can meditate on our breath, and watching our breath, listening to our breath, seeing that we are breathing what the trees breathe out, and we breathe out what the trees breathe in. And so when we are in nature, we can ask ourselves, who is breathing? Who is breathing? Who actually is breathing? And so in such a way, we can develop our sense of inclusiveness. It's very important practice inclusiveness for every one of us. Everyone should practice inclusiveness. If each one of us practice inclusiveness every day, I think this world will change very quickly, because we can leave the old ethics, which is based on rational mind exclusively, and we can proceed to a new vision, which is the vision of the third eye. And we should be guided by the third eye, because technologies are developing so quickly in this day, and they will give us a completely new world in few time. If we are not able to make some inner changes with the same energy, the same speed, we will suffer a lot in the next future. You see what I mean?
Silly. When people say, or when you say, seeing with the third eye, what's the felt experience of that? Is there any energetic experience in the forehead, or is it really in the chest?
Oh, you have a total experience in all your body, because when you see someone through your third eye, you feel him or her within you, and so you feel the emotion of the other, you feel the thoughts of the other, and you feel the guide spirit, the invisible companion of the other. how, how, how is it possible to see the guide spirit of someone else? Actually, you don't see, but you know that it exists, and you trust it. You trust the presence of the spirit, and as soon as you trust and you open your heart, the guide spirit of the other person start to give you some suggestions, some ideas, some perceptions, and so suddenly you perfectly know what other thinks, what other feels, because you feel feelings within you. I don't know how to better explain, because it's very difficult to explain such experience through words, conventional words, because our language is not enough to express this experience, which are beyond the thinking mind. But I don't know if I well explained.
When you experience the guides of another person, are they distinguishable from your own or not in the moment?
In the moment, you don't distinguish. You feel some sensations. You feel some. You have some thoughts, some ideas, and on the very moment you think that are yours thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, but little by little, or maybe when you rethink what happened, you realize that you received that thought, you received that sensation, you received that feeling. It was not yours, but it was as it was yours.
Yeah.
And so you feel happy inside, because you discover the magic and the beauty of life, the connection, the deep connection of every human beings, every creatures. All creatures are deeply connected. Do you remember that we talk about the free reality laws?
Yes, of what makes something real.
Yes, what makes something real. And the second reality law is everything that is real, everything that is alive, everything that has inside mystery and invisibility, spirit and soul, everything that is real is connected. This is the second law. The first law is what is real has something mysterious, invisible, spiritual inside, and is alive. A mountain is real, not true, but real, because has mysterious, something mysterious inside. A human being, of course, is real. An animal, a flower is real. A cloud is real. The rain is real. A tree is real. They have something mysterious and invisible and spiritual. They have a soul. A skyscraper is not real, even if it is big and huge. It's not real because it has not a soul. It is built only by the mind, without the participation of the divinity, of the divine. Creation is an act of love between nature and divine. In Sanskrit, they say Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti is nature, and Purusha is the divine, the spirit. So everything that has inside this image, the union between nature and divine, is real. But everything that is built by the mind, which creates within itself, is not real. And you see, people spend their lives worrying about things that are not real, and they run the risk to spend their lives without watching what is actually real and important. So the first reality law is to be real. Something has to have inside the image of union between nature and divine, mother and father, the creation image. The second reality law says that everything that is real is connected. So through the third eyes, you can see the net. You can see the net. You can see the connections. Not exactly see, but feel. Through the third eye, one can be in the net, in the connection. Mind brings you out from the connection because it wants you to be alone, you to be governable, predictable, measurable, and so mind brings you out from the connection. But mind plus love, which is another mind, a powerful mind, brings you within, in the net of connections, which you can perceive through your third eye. Does it make sense, Susanna?
Yes, and it's very, very beautiful and very touching.
And the amazing thing is that when you are within, when you are in the connection, you realize perfectly that everything which has not inside the image of creation, the image of love, the image of union between mother and father, between nature and divine, it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not real at all. So when you are within in the net, you can't worry about such thing as money, house, job, or car. You are in a flow of abundance, and you receive everything that you need, but you never worry about money or house or car or something that is not real. You see, you don't reach money, but you reach the power of money. Money power and money are very different. Having money is a damnation. Having money's power is a evolution, is a triumph, is a glory, is a glorious. Having money is a damnation. Having the money's power is glorious. You see.
And how do you distinguish that?
Because you see, power of money, power of wealth is in the nature. Is the power which brings rain, which makes the seed grow.
Flower. Yeah.
Yes, flower and grow. The money's power, the power of abundance, is everywhere in the nature and belongs to nature. And the human beings, because he's a part of nature, can take everything he needs, but he has to give it back to the mother. And when you perceive the power of abundance, when you are in this rhythm, because it is a rhythm, when you are in the rhythm of natural abundance, you have always everything that you need. You are sustained, you are even boosted sometimes, you are loved. You always feel that you are loved, and you live at ease without effort, effortlessly. You reach all your objectives effortlessly because you are sustained. It's beautiful. When you have money, oh God, you have a lot of problems. And if you, for instance, leave money to your children, you leave problems. um, because money are the problem in this world. The power of money, the power of abundance belongs to nature. Money belongs to few human beings which are super rich in this world. The power of money belongs to nature. They are very, very different. If one works for money, he works for someone else. He works to grow the dream of someone else. He sells himself for money. You don't have to work. People have to leave this terrible habit. Working is a terrible habit. One has not to work. One has to be at the service, serving a passion, serving an ideal, not an ideology, but an ideal, serving an ideal, serving a passion, and always having in mind that all the richness belong to nature, and to the nature have to give back. You have to give back everything that you take from the mother. So you have to keep in mind this. One has to keep this in mind. One has to feel himself at the service, not work.
That is really beautiful, Selene. That is so profoundly beautiful.
Yes, but at the very moment, humanity is far away from this condition. But in my opinion, humanity has to reach this condition very quickly because technology improves. Technology makes so big changes in our worlds and so quickly that if humanity doesn't reach this condition, this inner condition that I had described in few years, there will be a huge suffering for everyone. Because technologies makes changes that are only rational and logical based. They are rooted in the mind. If the human beings don't do changes which are heart-rooted, I am not optimistic for the future. We have absolutely to do changes. We are heart-rooted. In the same time that technology does changes which are mind-rooted. Does it make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we have not to expect these changes from someone else. We have to do these changes by ourselves in our life, day by day. Small and steady changes are very important to win the race. And the race is the race between suffer and joy. Slavery and freedom.
Thank you, Selene. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Suzanne. It is a pleasure to talk with you always.
Really wonderful.
Thank you.